Welcome back into the High School Fan Zone on this Wednesday night. We're going to jump into the Patriot Fan Zone here in a minute. We're still going to be talking track and field. Different area meet because Patriots and Lady Patriots are headed to the 4A area meet. I'm trying to remember yours is at ACU, Hunter?
It's at Abilene, at the stadium near Shotwell.
Oh, it's at Shotwell, not at ACU. Okay. Well, I was just at Shotwell the other day for soccer. That's a pretty incredible complex now that Jim Garfield's running the show in Abilene. Reminders that Wednesday nights after Thanksgiving are always going to be Friendship, Lubbock Cooper, Liberty, 6 to 7 p.m. Monday nights are the LISD schools, Coronado, Estacado, Lubbock High, and Monterey in that order, 6 to 7:30 p.m. This is Wednesday. It's track season. We're going to talk about the 4A area meet in Abilene. I've got Hunter Dewbre. Did I say your?
It's just Dewbre.
I've asked you before. The young lady at Monterey is a distant relative because she always told me the way I said it. Dewbre. So I've just got to get my old adult mind a little bit wrapped around that's said different ways. I'm going to have you introduce your two athletes, then have them say their names so people on radio can. We don't need to do that. It's a boy and a girl. I think people will figure that out. So. Okay. Tell me who you brought with you.
So I brought our junior, Natalie Miller, with us. She's been with us the last 2 years now and been a varsity athlete and been really good for us. And then our other one is our freshman, Kaiden Joseph. And he's been a four-sport athlete for us, and he's been juggling a lot this past spring, but I'm glad to have him.
All right, when you guys talk, I forgot to mention, you guys can share hold this microphone here, just hold it in close, and they'll dial your voice however they need to adjust it. Kaiden, grab the microphone there. Is four sports enough? I mean, you keep busy enough?
I mean, it's a lot, but it's pretty fun to play all four sports. I mean, keeps me in shape, and then it's pretty nice.
And what are the four?
Powerlifting, baseball, track, and football.
So you're never not busy?
Not really. I'm always pretty tired, but it's pretty fun.
Hunter, what did you tell me about him before we got started in powerlifting first? We'll start with that.
So he was ended up being 10th in his class, in his weight class for powerlifting at 146 pounds, 148 pounds, which as a freshman is really, really good.
Had a pretty good track season too.
Oh, yes.
That's why we're sitting here talking. Tell folks what events I'll let you guys. Natalie, you go first. What events are you qualified for in the area meet?
I qualified for the 100 meter, and I qualified for the 4x1 and 4x2.
So you're a sprinter, yes. Clearly.
And then I qualified for long jump, triple jump, the 4x1, 4x2, and 200.
So not only do you stay busy in every sport, you stay busy at track meets too.
Yes, sir.
This is a little. Just so you guys know, you've been followed by her Friendship and Lubbock Cooper were track oriented shows this week or tonight as well. So we talked a little bit about area meets being a little bit different because it's one day instead of stretched out. And Hunter, you've been a track coach for a while. How do you have to adjust? How do you get these young people ready for kind of a different approach mentally and physically?
Well, thankfully, since Kaiden's been doing everything this entire time, this isn't anything new for him. It's nice having one-day meets at your early on or like throughout your season. So when he goes 5 events today, it's not anything, or on Friday, it's not anything new to him. So that's one way. And he also at the same time got to prepare him for 2-day meets because that can be taxing as well on him. But yeah, so getting him ready to go and make sure he's good, and then nutrition, make sure they're eating right, staying hydrated, getting sleep. So like that, they have to have the energy to be able to do all 5 events in a day.
And it also helps when they're 15 and 16 and 17. They really don't know better. They just go out and exhaust themselves and make guys like us go, what are they doing? Natalie, with the sprints in particular, and I'm looking at you guys in the relays, we talked, the Friendship girls talked a little bit about how different relays are at a track meet, how kind of that's more of the team oriented. Mm-hmm. I know some of the other girls that you run with from other sports. Why are you guys so good in those relays? Why, Coach can kind of talk about that as well, but why are the Liberty girls so good at the relays?
I feel like it might be just because we're in so many sports together. Like, all the girls that are in the relays, we all play volleyball together. And so we kind of already have that bond with each other that a lot of, like, other track athletes don't. So, like, we already have that connection with each other and we're comfortable around each other, which kind of makes it easier for us in a way.
So if you're a volleyball player, you're used to winning district championships and going to the playoffs and playing for a long time. For the boys, this was the first district championship in track and field, correct?
Yes.
Which I thought was really cool, because when you look at who's in your district in particular, we're going to talk a little bit about some of your competition, Kaiden, because we had some of them on the other night. That's a really big breakthrough for you guys, Hunter.
Yeah. Especially coming off last year. Last year we tried to set it up where we could, where we had a chance, and then, some things didn't work out for us.
We'll come back and we'll talk more Liberty Patriot and Lady Patriot track after this break on the Patriot Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta, and this is 100.7 The Score.
Breaking down Liberty sports. This is the Patriot Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back into the Patriot Fan Zone. This is Randy Rosetta. You're listening to 100.7 The Score. We're talking Patriot and Lady Patriot track with the 4A area meet this week in Abilene on Friday. Grab that microphone, Kaiden. We're going to talk a little bit. I don't know if the Estacado guys are listening after the other night, because I got them wound up a little bit. I didn't even have to say much. But you guys beat Estacado, and I just realized you beat them in both the 4x100 and 4x200 relays, especially the 4x200. I mentioned this to you. That's a group that's gone to state, not to regionals, but to state the last 2 years in that event. You guys beat them. That got their attention. Let me put it that way. What is working so well for you guys in those two relays to come first? Is that the first time you've seen Estacado this year in a track meet?
No, sir. We've seen them a few times before, but this time we had the chemistry, we had the athletes. We've always had the athletes, so we just put it together. We still had bad handoffs. We could have ran faster, but we got it done this time, and then hopefully we'll have better handoffs and run a faster time next time.
How competitive were those two races?
They were neck and neck both times.
Which leg did you run in each?
I ran second leg on both.
Okay, so you're there. You get to watch those last couple of legs.
Yes,
How
sir.
cool is that to watch your teammates and great athletes from Estacado battle it out like that?
It's pretty cool, because that athlete Gavin, he's been going off and on with him, so it was pretty nice to see him go head to head again.
Since you're a freshman, that's probably the first time you've seen them, and those guys have now seen them in football, in basketball, in baseball. So there's a little rivalry brewing there. And Hunter, you're a guy who's been around Lubbock for a while. That's good to me. That's good for both schools to have, while you're both in 4A, to have that little spice involved.
Yes. Oh, yes. Especially being in the same town. Then it makes it, it fuels the flame a little more. But it was good for both of us, and we know that we got stuff we can fix right off the bat. So.
And you're going to have to, because I have a feeling that they're going to be locked in and ready, winning the district championship, to win those two relays in particular. How I can probably guess the answer to this, but how big a key were those two events in particular?
Like he said, like our 4x1 handoffs were atrocious. I was very, very irritated with that. But when you got the right kids on the team and they're able to, go do what they're coached to do and then, compete, it helped tremendously. And it helped boost some confidence. Like that's a big deal. Gavin hadn't got to run very many meets this year.
He's busy.
He's busy. And so seeing him being able to finish like that was big. We needed that. And then he came right back in the 4x2 and did the same thing. And so that was really big.
Now, do you guys get him Friday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He qualified in the 100. We've been, fixing everything we need to with him and, trying to get his times down just like everybody else. So, we'll see how this Friday goes.
Well, Coach Kello's got a couple other dudes that he can mix and match their own baseball team, so they'll survive.
And he'll be able to make both. So
okay, well, that's keeping the peace. You mentioned improving times. Natalie, grab the microphone, because we talked in between breaks. You had to fight back a little bit. You broke an ankle in volleyball season or summer?
It was right before volleyball tryouts.
Okay.
Like a week before volleyball tryouts.
Which injuries are terrible, and I hate any young person going through it, but especially when you're part of that program and you've got aspirations in track. It's hard to kind of motivate yourself. What'd you do to kind of focus in and work your way back?
I mean, it was hard watching like everyone else play volleyball, and I just kind of like set in my mind that I wasn't going to be able to play volleyball that year, and I just kind of strived for track, and like I worked very hard every day. I went to physical therapy 2 to 3 times a week, and I did so many I went after school every day doing workouts to try and get my ankle back in motion, and it was a long 6 months.
Got cleared in December, and what did you and Coach tell me a minute ago about last week? What your time in which event was it?
The 100. I matched my PR from last year.
So things are headed in the right direction. And remind me again, what 100, 200, and one of the two relays?
It was the 4x1, 100, and 4x2.
Okay, and so you're going to be a key component to what you guys do Friday. We're running out of time here. Hunter, kind of the nutshell answer, what can this team do Friday? What do you think the potential is Friday?
Well, so we went in the district with about 20 kids on both, and we have 18 going.
Wow.
From an area on the boys' side and 15 on the girls. So I expect a lot of great things from both sides, and I think they do too. So.
Top 4 from area move on to regionals. Top 2 from there go on to state. This is Randy Rosetta. This has been the High School Fan Zone on Wednesday night. We'll be back next week on Monday night on 100.7 The Score.